Hello ladies and gentlemen, Ecology here, and welcome to 9.15.1 test server. And in this video I'm going to be showing you the FV215B183, the bigger FV304, the T3041, and the 121. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So here we are with the FV215B183. It's a tier 10 British tank destroyer, and from the looks of it, they changed it. They changed it a lot, and I'm just like, what'd they do to this thing? Just look at the exhaust systems. Just make me giggle. Well, let's look at its suspension. It has basically the Conqueror suspension, so it's pretty well established what it looks like. Nothing impressive. Which is alright. Well, let's look at it in more detail, because that's what I do. That's what you're here for, is to look at it in detail. You're like, I don't care about suspension. I really want to do the tank, but I'm not paying attention. That's what I'm doing. And there he is. There's my buddy, my partner in crime. And another thing you can see is its turret is much more different. Well, the track looks, well, Conqueror-ish. I say that because it's on the Conqueror and the Caravan, I'm pretty sure. Got tow hooks, cables, or not cables, eye holes, headlights, which are handy dandy, driver port, because they drive on the left, gun. I always forget what that's called. Gun brace, gun something. External fire extinguisher, travel lock, there it is. You see the rifling on its guns, which look fantastic. What am I doing? So, I don't have to traverse, he traverses. What am I doing? Alright. So the side of the vehicle, well, we got this very big, weird exhaust, which wasn't on the old one. The suspension is pretty, well, Conqueror-esque. Same type of up-down motion, same wheels, same side skirts, same everything, basically. The drive sprocket is quite nice. Side profile of this turret. Got a storage box, some smoke launchers, which you can't use, which is upsetting, an eye hole to lift off the turret, some storage boxes to store stuff in, of course, because you can't get enough storage. And then the back here we see you have a spool of wire or cable or whatever that is. Something. A jerry can, a door within a door, so we have a small door which opens up probably to dispel ammunition, and then a bigger door so crew can get in and out. And then you have a 50 cal machine gun on the roof that you can see. Further down we have more eye holes. I don't know what that is. The telephone box, some more tow hooks for cables to hook onto, the weird exhaust, which I'm not a big fan of. Not at all. But I guess I'll have to get used to it, which kind of makes me upset. But they changed the model. I guess it's to make it look more realistic. I don't know. Since I don't think this thing was ever built. You got the commander's hatch, some antennae for the radio, another storage box on the side. Same type of suspension as on the other side as this side. Two storage boxes, the same thing. So all in all, it's pretty much boring, I have to say. The engine deck, you have the filler caps, probably on both sides, and the louvers to lift up the engine covers. The co-driver, or the radio operator or something, sits here, while the driver sits on the other side. All in all, I find this quite boring as a tier 10 tank destroyer. I prefer the way the other version of this tank looks, the SD, but that's just me. Turret detail, we got this viewport bar, the commander's hatch, because they had that super cool thing that fed into like a machine gun, and it just, it looked awesome, but I guess they didn't want it. Oh. I'm not wargaming, I don't know if that's historical or not, so. With that being said, that's the FV215B18. So here we are with the FV304, and from first glance, it got bigger! And I mean a lot bigger. You can't hide. And I'm going to show you how you can't hide, hopefully. So let's go over to suspension. Look at this suspension. I think this is pretty. Look at that. Like whoever modeled this gets an A+. But at least this vehicle is still super duper fast. It still can reach up to 72 kilometers. And an artillery piece, 72. That's like fast. Oh yeah, I have to do the weird way. Oh, sorry. Which I hate doing it this way. So it never really works properly. So, you see the track, which looks fantastic. Very thick. Got some tow hooks, here and here and here, which look nice. Got some bolt action right there. 2 headlights. The engine deck, which you have a filler cap it looks like, and all the louvers you need to lift up the engine deck. The gun does have rifling, as you can see. You have the gunner's viewport, or the loader's viewport. You have the driver's hatch and viewport right here. And you have the commander's hatch and viewport up here. And then you have this Vickers machine gun of some caliber. I'm pretty sure it's a Vickers machine gun. It can be also the Ben. The Ben gun? Bren gun. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with British guns. So, tell me in the comments what machine gun is it. Is it a Vickers something or is it a Bren gun? I think it's a Vickers. Oh no. Back up, back up, back up, back up. So we have a beautiful drive wheel. My favorite part about this tank are the road wheels. I think the road wheels are very beautiful. I love the road wheels. I love the side skirts. Side skirts are quite nice. Has 2 handrails or grab irons here and there, which look quite nice. The exhaust is in the front. And you have a handle and the pickaxe. Basically, they go 2 and 2, which is pretty good. Traverse speed is kind of crappy. Kind of crappy indeed. And while looking at the back of the tank, we can see that there's a big door. We got a spool of something, I don't know what it is. Reverse lights, tail lights, external fire extinguisher, and then you can see the rear end of the machine gun of mystery. And then the detail on the other side is pretty much the same as the other. The only difference is that there is a bar going across here and there's a shovel. All in all, I like the changes they made. I don't know if they made a mistake with the sizing or this is intentional. Because if I can get the to stop next to me, I suck at spelling. So I can see the size difference to a tier 10. Look at this size difference. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoop. Look at that. Look at that. They're the same exact height. Wow. And that's the AMX. I will be showing you that thing later. That thing is to come. So, yeah, onwards to the next vehicle. So here we are with the T-34-1, a Chinese medium tank. And it's been HD. Somewhat. Let's go over its suspension. I don't know what it's based off on. Probably the T-44 and the Chinese tech tree, or the Russian tech tree, but I'm not sure. Quite nice. I like the suspension, but it's pretty generic on Russian / Chinese vehicles, the suspension. So let's go over to my compadre. That's Spanish for something that I don't know. I could be swearing. It's Spanish, and I don't know. But there he is. As you can see, track is nicely done. You got some tow hooks up here. The driver's hatch and viewport with a headlight. It does have rifling, which is good. Aww. I'm upset. I was hoping that machine gun went up and down as the gun raised and lowered, but it didn't. We have a viewport right here for the gunner's port, I guess. A horn. I'm guessing that's a horn. What am I doing? There we go. And look at that. We have a nice drive sprocket in the back. Very nice road wheels. Either wheel in the front. Very nice cupola. Not much detail on the side, which is kind of sad. As I get hit by something that I don't want to. Got some external fuel tanks, which look good. Alright. Look at the rear end. Got some more tow hooks down here. The exhaust, which is typically T-34. An engine port, so you can easily get into the engine, which kind of not that easy with the bolts. And then we have the flat engine deck, which I don't know why the Chinese made it flat, but we have some viewport grates right here, 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 and access port right here, which all looks nice. I don't know what those are. Not at all. We got the Russian machine gun up there. The antennae for the radio. But no logs. Why is there no logs on these Chinese / Russian vehicles? Grr. And then we have the commander's hatch, loader's hatch, and blah 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 hatch. And then we have some storage, a storage box right there, which looks nice. All in all, the detail is quite bland on this Chinese vehicle. There's not really much to see. They didn't really put as much effort in making this vehicle as other vehicles. So that's it for this review of the Chinese T-34-1. The 121, a Chinese Tier 10 medium tank that has been HD'd. Now, yeah, I don't know much about Chinese and their Tier 10 medium tank. I have to say, it's not that bad looking. Not as much detail, but it's basically like a T-54, but better, I guess. The Chinese. I don't know what to call this thing. I'm not knowledgeable with Chinese armor and armory. Got some beautiful tracks. Some tow hooks right here. Headlights. Spaced armor, which is good. Driver's viewports. The gun. Which is rifled. You can barely see it, but you can see it. It's rifled. Uh-oh. Oh. I was so excited because I saw that depress, and it didn't depress the machine gun. They need to fix that. Machine gun needs to raise some of those with the gun. You got the viewport for the gunner. Not bad. A little low on detail, but not bad. Okay, now we turn it over. Back up a bit. Got a nice drive sprocket, small but useful. Got very pretty road wheels. I like them a lot. The idler wheel in the front. A lot of storage boxes / spaced armor on the side of the tank going all the way down. Side of the turret, it has a very exposed turret ring, which I don't know if it's easy to hit. Some handrails on the side so you can hold on to it. The machine gun. The ventilation. A viewport. Commander's hatch. All good. And we traverse the tank to the butt. Yay, there's the Russian log, or Chinese log. There, I knew it was somewhere. Had to be somewhere. Has 2 external fuel tanks, which are nice. Some tow hooks. The track does mash up nicely with the road wheel, or the drive sprocket. Some engine detail. Oh, come on, stop. Got some ventilations for the engine. Hatches. All in all, looks nice. Turret detail. Just another hatch. It's the only thing I didn't cover is just the extra hatch. And the last side that I'm going to look at is this side. You have the exhaust on, well, the side. Some more storage boxes. Also spaced armor. I'm pretty sure that would act as spaced armor. Diffusing any shell. And that's basically it for the Chinese Tier 10. Not much detail. I have to do say the Chinese HD tanks have not that much detail this patch. But we still have one more to look at, and so we're going to look at that one. So, see you there. Alright, so we're back in the garage, and let's go over some weathering detail. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Got some weathering over the fenders. Not much weathering on the tip of the gun. Got some weathering on the gun top. Some weathering on the engine deck, around the hatch, or the filler caps. Some around the driver's hatch, around the fenders. Scratches down the side. Some paint missing here and there. Some more paint missing around the door. Paint missing around the commander's hatch, loader's hatch, and stuff like that. More scratches down the side. I don't know, for some reason the paint looked not as HD. It feels like kind of weird. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of its HD model. Not a big fan. I like the tank that was in SD better. I don't know why they changed the model so drastically. Maybe because it makes it more historical. I don't know. But I'm not a big fan of the HD model on this tank. Next one is the FE304. The big monster now. The big bird. Lower plate got some weathering. Some scratches on the upper plate. Some wear and tear around the engine deck. Some paint missing around the gun barrel. Breach, some weathering back here. Scratches where this thing would rotate, which looks nice. Some weathering around the commander's hatch. I love the machine gun. I don't know what it is. The driver's hatch, some wear and tear by the door. I don't know. I want to know how tall is a person. Like, I want to know. I wish there was like a scale in the garage. Like, how tall is this compared to a human? Like, is a human this tall? Is it this tall? Or is he a gigantic and he's up to here? I don't know. But I want to know the scaling of the tanks here. Because if that Jeep's to scale of people in the game, then yeah, I guess it makes sense, because now it looks like people can actually fit inside without having to be on their hands and knees crawling inside. I don't know. And it has a lot of crew members too. Like, it has a full crew, unless they got rid of some. Yeah, they got rid of some. I thought it had all 6 crew members. I'm confused. But that's the FE304. I'm pretty sure FE304 drivers will tell me if they got rid of a crew member. I'm pretty sure they would. So here's the Chinese tank Tunkay. Wow, it has a lot of weathering that I didn't see. Lols. Got some singeing around the tip of the barrel. Some more around here. Paint missing occasionally around the barrel, especially from back here, around the mantlet. A lot of weathering down here on the front plate, around here, around the driver's hatch, all around the turret. A lot of weathering. I like this. A lot of weathering around the external fuel tanks. A lot of weathering on the engine deck. It's like this thing has been a lot of... seen a lot of things. And I like that. Some scratches along the fuel tanks. Paint missing here and there. It's like China doesn't keep maintenance on their paint job. And I like that. I like that. And the last one is the 2-1. Or the 1-2-1. Ugh. 1-2-1. So I got paint missing from the muzzle. Some paint missing towards the back of it. Got some paint missing here and there. Around the fenders. Some here. Some around the turret. It's pretty clean on the exhaust. The engine deck, which looks pretty good. Not as weathered as the other Chinese vehicle, but it still looks somewhat good. Somewhat good. Well, alright then. That's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you the last two, the 131 and the new Chinese, or the new French tank. So, see you in the next video. Goodbye. Bye-bye. See ya.